idakwe yini?
Dogs, cats, vultures, hippopotamus and pangolins, flies and frogs. I shall wait no more. I shall wait no more when my brothers are being burnt alive. I shall wait no more when what we used to call hope is up in smoke. I shall wait no more when Lindela has turned to be my only home. No, ngeke ngelinde ngizawugoduka ngizowuhamba kodwa before ngihambe ngizosho ngisazohlala ngisho ngithi khona xenophobia beni dakwe yini simbonile baleka benja unenzeni na unenzeni na ngikwaza ngomkhosi
benidakwe yini wesizwe se-Afrika qaphela ngempela nansi isizwe siyaphela jezeka nini ingqondo xenophobia benidakwe.
If you truly won in Africa, the big question is, why would a South African kill a Nigerian in South Africa? Why would a Nigerian kill a Zimbabwean in Nigeria? Why would a Ghanaian kill a Togolese in Ghana? It's a very big question we must ask. I think it's very important at this point for us to see ourselves as one brother, one sister, one nation. Motherland they call Africa. There's no point of discrimination in the continent. This is Around Africa for this week. Until we come your way next week, my name is Brown Sinduwana.
One continent, 54 countries, over 2,000 languages, but united with similar interests. As news breaks, we give you in-depth analysis. Around Africa, every Monday on Coretv News.
The man on the streets have come to realize that the power to make decisions lies in the hands of the people.
The president is the most guided person in Nigeria. And men getting to him is like, we all know it's a political propaganda, so I don't believe what he said is true.
But they are not just ordinary people.
Up to that time, when you look at Nigeria, Nigeria has been a confluence of a theater of anarchy, confusion, dichotomy, marginalization, and a lot of lamentations has been existing.
They are people of influence.
I'm not happy. How can my brother plan against me to kill me when you know that I'm in power? To save you. I protected you to make things good for everybody in Nigeria. Not even I. Everybody in Nigeria.
And they are very, very important.
What we want now is who will salvage Nigeria. We are not interested in tribe or ethnicity or whatever. Who will save Nigeria?
The people. Only on Coretv News.
Nigerians are expected to seek out the best. 2 words to describe the activity.
The Yoruba Unity Forum is conducted.
Be the first to know.
On Coretv News.
From the north, south, east, west, and around Africa.
Presidential
we break the news.
Women in Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live as the news breaks. We are Coretv News.
Welcome to Coretv Primetime News.
A 24-hour news station.
Der Torschütze zum zwischenzeitlichen 1-1. Semenike schickt Musa, da ist Ahmed Musa! Und da ist der Ausgleich!
It's a beautiful Saturday evening in the city of Lagos.
Off the turn, Phelps had it, but then Matsui kept going.
Idols. 5 to shoot. Leonard does.
Sports is concerned, and of course making a difference for all of us here from all our production. I hope one will bless up.
You know, Angela, that's a very difficult question.
It is difficult to respond to that question.
Angela, that's a great question.
Great question, Angela. Angela, that is a very great question. That's a great question, Angela.
Okay, that's a great question.
Yeah, very good question.
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
That's an interesting question.
Thank you for joining us now. The federal government has approved 2 new private universities exactly 1 month to the terminal date of the Jonathan administration. This was one of the decisions made at the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by President Goodluck Jonathan. One of the new universities is Edwin Clark University, which belongs to its joint leader and elder statesman Edwin Clark. The second university is Hezekiah University, located in Umudi in Imo State. Bringing more details. And now President-elect Muhammadu Buhari has been soliciting the support of the incoming members of the National Assembly for a reduction in the cost of governance. He also wants them to collaborate with the executive to tackle insurgency in the Northeast and environmental degradation in the Niger Delta. The president-elect said this in a speech at the ongoing induction program for the incoming members of the 8th Assembly. He listed some of the challenges before the government, to include a drop in revenues as a result of falling oil prices, endemic corruption, which he says has crippled human and infrastructure development, and poor power supply, as well as youth unemployment. The president-elect maintained that he would require the support and collaboration of federal legislators to tackle developmental challenges through appropriate policies and transparent oversight functions. And now the Nigeria military has disclosed the rescue of 200 girls and 93 women from Sambisa Forest, a stronghold of the Boko Haram sect in Borno State. Chris Olukolade, Director of Defense Information, says he could not confirm the identity of the freed victims and their origins, and he could not state if any of them was from Chibok until thorough screening and proper investigations have been completed. At least 21 people were killed by suspected members of the dreaded Boko Haram in Maguba community and other surrounding villages of Benin Sheikh, the headquarters of Kaga local government area of Borno State. It was gathered that at least 3 major terrorist camps have been destroyed in the well-coordinated attacks that include the destruction of notorious Tokumbere camp in the Sambisa forest. The insurgents, according to sources, also injured many residents after setting ablaze several houses, mostly thatched roofs, and before looting foodstuff and livestock. Benin Sheikh is northwest and about 76 kilometers drive from Maiduguri, the state capital. It is located on the fringes of Sambisa forest along Maiduguri-Damaturu-Kano Road, which have witnessed a series of deadly attacks by insurgents. And our former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has expressed delight at the news of the rescue of nearly 300 girls and women by troops from the Sambisa forest. The former Vice President said in a statement by his media office in Abuja that it was unacceptable that hundreds of women, girls and boys have been abducted by the insurgents group Boko Haram over the last couple of months. He noted that while Nigerians rejoice at the news of the rescue, they should continue to encourage the military to be steadfast in the operation until all abducted persons are freed. Atiku Abubakar also expressed his support for Nigeria's military forces in its ongoing mission to end insurgency in the northeast Nigeria. Meanwhile, the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar says 21 out of 57 of the schoolgirls originally abducted from Chibok in Borno State are now on scholarship at the American University in Nigeria, Yola. He said these on the sidelines of the Kaduna International Trade Fair. Atiku Abubakar explained that a foreign donor is picking the bills of the girls to the tune of $3 million US.
Deliberate efforts to see if we secure some of those of them who escaped. There were about 50-something of them who escaped. And out of the 50-something, we traveled to Chibok and got 21 of the girls and brought them to Yola. And we decided to establish a scholarship to educate them.
And now the Senate has passed the 2015 budget about a week after the House of Representatives approved the spending plan. The 4.493 trillion are approved by the upper chamber.
Adamawa State, Jibrila Bindo, APC. Akwa Ibom, Emmanuel Udom, PDP. Bauchi, MD Abubakar, APC. Benue, Samuel Otom, APC. Borno, Kashim Shetima, APC. Cross River, Ben Ayade, PDP. Delta, Ifeanyi Okowa, PDP. Ebonyi, Dave Umahi, PDP. Enugu, Ifeanyi Ugwanyi, PDP. Gombe, Ibrahim Dankwabo, PDP. Jigawa, Abubakar Muhammad Badaru, APC. Kaduna, Nasiru El-Rufai, APC. Kano, Umar Ganduje, APC. Katsina, Aminu Bello Basari, APC. Kwara, Abdul Fattah Ahmed, APC. Lagos, Akinwumi Ambode, APC. Nasarawa, Tanko Alumakura, APC. Niger, Abubakar Sani Lulu Bello, APC. Ogun, Ibikunle Amosun, APC. Oyo, Abiola Ajimobi, APC. Plateau, Simon Lalong, APC. Rivers, Nyesom Wike, PDP. Sokoto, Aminu Tambuwa, APC. Yobe, Ibrahim Gaidam, APC. Zamfara, Abdulaziz Abubakar, APC.
Nigerians are expected to seek out the best. 2 words to describe the activity.
The Yoruba Unity Forum is coming to you on.
Be the first to know.
On Coretv News.
From the north, south, east, west, and around Africa.
Presidential
we break the news.
Women in Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live as the news breaks. We are Coretv News.
Welcome to Coretv Primetime News.
24-hour news station.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digi360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Human and infrastructure development and poor power supply, as well as youth unemployment. The president-elect maintained that they would require the support and collaboration of federal legislators to tackle developmental challenges through appropriate policies and transparent oversight functions. Now, a student group in northern Nigeria has advised the leadership of the All Progressives Congress to zone the Senate presidency to the Northeast Zone. The Amalgamated Northern Nigeria Students Forum gave this piece of advice at a news conference in Kaduna. The students group is rooting for chairman of the Senate Committee on Public Account, Ahmed Lawan, as the next Senate president.
This so-called removal of subsidy has been something that numerous governments have embarked upon without an end. So it means that even if who tells you that if this incoming administration embarked on it, that you will see the end of removal of subsidy. During the former Obasanjo's government, this exercise was embarked upon for about 11 times, and the Labour, both the TUC and the NLC, engaged the government severally. So it is like the more you look, the less you see. For us in Labour, We are not going to support that. We don't have the mandate of our members, both NSC and TUC. So I hope that even the incoming government, in its desperation to look for money, will not look for money at the wrong place.
Now, Nigeria's military authorities are still not sure whether the abducted Chibok girls are part of the 293 women and girls rescued from Sambisa forests. Defense spokesman Major General Chris Olukolade says the military headquarters is still awaiting pictures and names of the women freed from Boko Haram stronghold. This, the authorities, is after the officers on ground would have completed the screening and profiling of the nearly 300 women and girls. Now, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has expressed delight at the news of the rescue of nearly 300 girls and women by troops from the Sambisa forest. The former Vice President said in a statement by his media office in Abuja that it was unacceptable that hundreds of women, girls and boys have been abducted by the insurgent group Boko Haram over the last couple of months. He noted that while Nigerians rejoice at the news of the rescue, they should continue to encourage the military to be steadfast in the operation until all abducted persons are freed. Atiku Abubakar also expressed his support for Nigeria's military forces in its ongoing mission to end insurgency in northeastern Nigeria. Away from that, now, Nigeria Labour Congress says it is not satisfied with many aspects of the 2015 budget, especially the non-inclusion of funds for fuel subsidy. It also laments that a large chunk of the 2.6 trillion naira set aside for recurrent expenditure will not go into the pockets of political appointees. NLC officials said this at a joint press briefing with the Trade Union Congress ahead of this year's May Day celebrations.
The next ranking officer whom the cap fits is Senator Ahmed Lawal from Yobe State, who is often described as a seasoned educationist, erudite scholar, pragmatic realist, and prodigious scholar, a Marxist to the core, who holds a bachelor's degree to the House of Representatives in 1999, spending 8 years and later moved to Senate in 2007. Senator Ahmed Lawal discharged his duty so well that he earned commendation from both chambers. Ahmed Lawal holds the records of convening the most committee meetings in Senate and a prolific contributor to debate on the floor. He is currently the chairman on public accounts in the Senate.
Motorists and commuters are beginning to face hardship in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, as most filling stations are said to be without premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol. Long queues of vehicles are seen in most filling stations within Abeokuta metropolis. Our correspondent reports that some of the filling stations are under lock and key, while others are selling, but with long queues of vehicles. The NNPC mega station located along Abeokuta-Kobakbe Road refused to sell the commodity to motorists, and no reason was given, leaving residents worried and confused on the cause of the recent fuel scarcity.
I want to buy a fuel now. I want to buy a fuel here. And we just observed that there is a queue and we have to queue on the line. I first of all be at the NNPC over there, but later they said that the fuel has finished. So we have to move to this place.
Wasting time, and we don't really know what will happen. I don't know whether there is going to be a scarcity or not. We don't know. We are just coming from the factory, just to spend a few minutes and go back. We cannot go back. We are queuing. But it is happening. We are producing oil. We have it here. But why are we not having enough refinery to cater for all the masses?
Presently, it is unfortunate that we have this again in this country.
we are suffering and missed plenty, and it is so unfortunate. We pray that we live to see a Nigeria of our dream very soon. Probably with the new government, with the change slogan, a lot have to change in Nigeria. A lot of things have to change.
Meanwhile, when our crew moved towards Abiola Way at that turn along Obantoko-Ibadan Expressway, it observed that some of the filling stations are selling the commodity without queues. Those who spoke behind camera explained that artificial scarcity could be as a result of internal problems within the NNPC. Attempts to speak with staff and management of the NNPC mega station in Abeokuta were unsuccessful, as none of them was willing to talk to us. Thank you, sir. If you've just tuned in, you're watching Coretv News at 6. We'll go for a very quick break. When we come back, we'll bring you more stories. Stay with us.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digi 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Welcome back. It's still the news at 6. You can reach us on our following social media platform. We've got Facebook, facebook.com/CoreTVNews, or our Twitter handle at CoreTVNewsNG. You can also check our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoreTV, leave a space, and then news. Now, the Indonesian government has executed 8 convicted drug smugglers, including 4 Nigerians, in firing squad, despite international plea for clemency. The men had tried to smuggle heroin into the country. The 4 Nigerians had originally been sentenced between 1999 and 2004 for different drug-related offenses. They are Martin Anderson, who was found guilty of possessing 50 grams of heroin. The 50-year-old had traveled to Indonesia on a false passport and was reportedly shot in the leg during his arrest. Rahim Agbaji Salami, 50, was arrested in Surabaya with 5.5 kilograms of heroin and was initially handed a life sentence. 4 other convicts are being held at a high-security prison in Indonesia, and they're expected to be put to death by firing squad several hours later. The prisoners' families were heard wailing as they boarded a boat to what's expected to be the final goodbyes. Under Indonesian law, the death penalty is carried out by a 12-man firing squad, although only 3 guns are loaded with live ammunition. A Filipino woman was also due to be executed, but was reportedly spared at the last minute. Mary Jane Fiesta Veloso was spared after the person who allegedly recruited her to act as a drug courier surrendered to police, the Jakarta Post reports. Now, just a few weeks after the 2015 general elections, former Education Minister and leader of the Bring Back Our Girls group, Obi Ezekwesili, at an event, the inauguration of the Office of the Citizens, insists that the real leaders in the democratic system are the electorate and not the elected political leaders. In a metropolitan meeting in Lagos, Ezekwesili says the electorate is a major contributor to democracy, but benefit less from the system. She also decried the abuse of the office, termed as seen as an avenue for enjoyment by political office holders and not to offer the necessary services to the already impoverished masses. Through a quote by former American President Franklin Roosevelt, she enumerated the sentence of the office.
Government is ourselves and not an alien power over us. The ultimate rulers of our democracy are not a president and senators and congressmen and government officials, but the voters of this country.
The Kwara State Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed insists that the existing peaceful relationship between the executive and the legislative arms will enhance the socio-economic growth of the state. This is coming as the Abdul Fattah Ahmed says that his new term will usher in a new system to generate internal revenue for financial independence of the state. Correspondent Rashid files in this report from Ilorin.
With the Speaker of the Kwara State Assembly, Razak Atunwa, leaving for the National Assembly, the State Assembly delegation led by the Deputy Speaker, Ghana Isa, paid a courtesy visit to the State Governor, appraising the smooth working relationship between the Executive and the House of Assembly so far.
And in spite of all the problems, financial problems, you still found time and you still found it necessary to still do projects that people-oriented projects, in spite of the so-called federal might, deliver the state first to federal government, to General Buhari.
In his response, Governor Ahmed pointed out that the success of Kwara State in the last 4 years is possible due to the diligence of the Assembly in the discharge of its legislative duties.
Our incursion into driving the second term was largely contributed to by members of the House of Assembly. You gave us a very strong support, professionally handled, such that we had a very peaceful way of doing business between the executive arm and the legislative arm of the state, such that rules, regulations, laws were not compromised, and yet they were carried on such that laws to support growth and development for the state have been well articulated all through the last 4 years in almost unprecedented terms. I want to congratulate you and thank you for that.
In a related development, the governor playing host to Association of Local Government Chairmen, where he harps on the need to generate more revenue for the economic viability of the state, as he rails out the action plan for a new revenue generation system in Kwara State.
We must come out with new ways of driving revenue for us to sustainably carry on the business of governance at local government level and at state level. That new law will give us an institution that will be charged with the responsibility independently of any ministry, independently to drive the state revenues, to set targets. So those who will drive the revenue will not be the usual civil servants we are used to. We are setting a brand new institution that will see itself driven with strong targets and ensuring that all revenues are accruable to the state, are not only aggregated, but also made available for use for development and growth.
The people of Kwara await this new revenue generation system and how it will affect the socio-economic life of the average Kwaran. Rashid, Coretv News, Ilorin.
Our next route takes us to Edo State, where Governor Adams Oshiomhole of the state has commenced the inspection of various ongoing projects in the state, days after the just concluded general elections in the state. The governor, who spoke to newsmen shortly after inspecting some major projects in the areas, maintained that the exercise was worthwhile, adding that he will continue to provide more services for the people. Our local correspondent has more in this report. While inspecting ongoing projects,
he was also made Military Secretary, Army Headquarters, and was a member of the Supreme Military Council between 1978 and 1979. At the rank of Colonel, Buhari was part of the class of 1980 that attended the U.S. Army War College in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, United States of America, and gained a master's degree in strategic studies. In 1983, Major General Buhari and Major General Tunde Idiagbon were selected to lead the country by middle and high-ranking military officers after a successful military coup d'etat that overthrew Second Republic civilian President Shehu Shagari in December of that year. In 1985, Buhari was himself overthrown in a coup led by General Ibrahim Babangida on August 27, and other members of the ruling Supreme Military Council SMC ostensibly. His main challenger in the 2007 April polls was the ruling People's Democratic Party (PDP's) Umaru Yar'Adua, who is also from the same state, PDP, Malam Nuhu Ribadu of the Action Congress of Nigeria, and Ibrahim Shekarau of the NPP. They were the major contenders among 20 contestants. Buhari won 12,214,853 votes, coming second to the incumbent President Goodluck Jonathan of the PDP, who polled 22,495,187 votes and was declared winner. General Muhammadu Buhari ran in the 2015 presidential election as a candidate of the All Progressives Congress. In February 2015, former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo quit the ruling PDP and threw his support behind the Buhari-Osinbajo ticket. Having made several efforts before now, the 2015 presidential election is General Muhammadu Buhari's fourth attempt for the #1 citizenship of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It is also the first time a sitting president was unsure of re-election and thus goes down in history as the nation's most keenly contested election so far. After several months of rigorous campaign travels across Nigeria and certain key nations of the world, after ceaseless uncertainties about the election, having survived several attacks both at his person and eligibility, General Muhammadu Buhari, Grand Commander of the Federal Republic, GCFR, has been declared winner of the 5th general election in Nigeria's 4th Republic. By this declaration of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, General Buhari becomes the second military general and former head of state in Nigeria to be elected as president in a democratic Nigeria.
Nigerians are expected to seek out the best 2 words to describe the activity. The Yoruba Unity Forum is conducting.
Be the first to know.
Coretv News.
From the north, south, east, west, and around Africa.
Presidential
we break the news. Now you can catch all the actions live as the news breaks. We are Coretv News.
Welcome to Coretv Primetime News,
a 24-hour news station.
Der Torschütze zum zwischenzeitlichen 1:1. Semenike schickt Musa, da ist Ahmed Musa und da ist der Ausgleich.
It's a beautiful Saturday evening in the city of Lagos.
Off the turn, Phelps had it, but then Matsui kept going.
Finals. 5 to shoot. Leonard does.
And of course, making a difference for all of us here from all our production. I hope one will bless up.
You can now watch Coretv News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to Coretv Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click Coretv, leave a space, then news. Coretv News, a 24-hour news station.
The man on the streets have come to realize that the power to make decisions lies in the hands of the people.
The president is the most guided person in Nigeria. And men getting to him is like, we all know it's a political propaganda, so I don't believe what he said is true.
But they are not just ordinary people.
Up to that time, when you look at Nigeria, Nigeria has been a confluence of a theater of anarchy, confusion, dichotomy, marginalization, and a lot of lamentations have been existing.
They are people of influence.
I'm not happy. How can my brother plan against me to kill me when you know that I'm in the power?
to save you. I protected you to make things good for everybody in Nigeria. Not even I. Everybody in Nigeria.
And they are very, very important. What we want now is who will salvage Nigeria. We are not interested in tribe or ethnicity or whatever. Who will save Nigeria?
The people. Only on Coretv News.
Welcome to your darling program, The People. The program that echoes the voice of the people. I'm your host, Emmanuel Ajayi. Let's go on the streets and find out what the people are saying.
My generation, we grew up to know that there's an epileptic power supply in this country. You know, it is not a new development per se, but be that as it may, there must be room for improvement. And I think that unbundling NEPA in the very first instance to what our PHC as it later became to be known, unbundling into the different discourse or whatever will eventually on the long run improve power supply in this country. NITEL was once like this. In the very first instance, NITEL was not spreading to everybody that needed to have a phone call. And I remember somebody who then said, a public officer then said that it's a luxury that common men cannot afford. But now we have common men afford. I mean, who cannot have access to phone line.
For Nigerians that are not gullible, we know that good laws have done nothing good for this country. You can see the
decided before, make northers go, make easters stay. Yeah.
You women are bringing the problem. Women are wearing trousers. Deuteronomy said that no woman should wear woman's shirt. No man should wear woman's shirt. God is annoyed with people. The people. Only on Coretv News.
New week at least, I go on my accounts, my social accounts, like 5 times or so, yeah, to check my messages and all, and then post some few things to enrich lives. But then, how well the social media has helped our lives? It's meant to help us positively, but then we see people doing negative things, yeah, and then it's not right to do that because that's not what it was made for. But then the thing is this: I hear people saying it's negative, but to me it's all around positive, because even if you're bad, what you're looking for is a bad thing, and then it's positive to you because you're finding what you want. So I think social media is a positive thing for anybody.
I can't do without my phone. And another thing is that social media, it's really helping. Talking of the BBM, that really helped a lot due to what we are doing, due to our faculty assignments and blah 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 like that. Although we will need some PDFs like that, some notes. So we don't just have to meet the lecturer directly. So we just send it to us through media, like Gmail, Yahoo Mail. So we get the notes easily. So it makes life easy for students in general. So what I'll just say is that social media is really helping positively in some ends, but on some other hands it might be working negatively. But the positive part is more than the negative part.
Make somebody it's good for students, both students and staff, to enlighten people in their social environment.
No, I can't stay without social media because it keeps me informed on fashion.
Probably I'm tired, I just want to relax, so I just go there to see what is happening. But to see me making comment or posting something on social media, I don't do that. No, it does have impact. Because I'm not a fan of it, doesn't mean that it doesn't have impact. It does have impact, both positive and negative. It has both. You get what I'm saying? So it has both. So it depends on how you're using it. You get a point? Because at least those people you have not seen for a while, you can actually keep in touch on social media like Facebook. You can know what is going on with someone. You can know, okay, the status and everything like that. And at the same time, it can be used negatively to the other side. Probably those people that pose as something they are not, just to probably do somebody or do something funny with other people. So both positive and negative, really.
Although these social medias, I don't use them that too much. I just check feeds and beneficial updates. You know, you subscribe to them on pages, scientific, and they give you updates. That's what I use them for mostly.
It's on this note, we draw the curtain on your darling program, The People, the program that echoes the voice of the people. Till I come here again, another inspiring episode of the program. Keep it logged on Coretv News. I remain your host, Emmanuel Ajayi.
If I had eaten jollof rice or inya this morning and you have never taken gari, we will not be talking the same way.
If you cannot carry doll, you will take it with petrol or barrel. Have to get up to $1 million naira. A criminal is always a criminal.
Stringent punishment must be meted on them.
Companies there, industries. Why we are here suffering? What for?
There is a particular place, a dark spot, which Nigerian army cannot actually enter into.
They've not proven efficient.
That is absolute obnosity in nature. If you look at the reaction of the Nigeria police force, it's very bad.
Because Nigeria now has become a spiritual bowl.
The People, only on Coretv News.
Coretv News, expanding your view.
Welcome to 100 Years in 100 Words. Cultures in Nigeria. Nigeria is a blessed nation. Our culture is shaped by our multi-ethnic groups. The country has over 50 languages and over 250 dialects and ethnic groups. Nigeria is believed to possess one of the finest cultures in the world, ranging from cuisines, clothing, languages, architecture, hospitality, traditional music, dance, art, and much more. The three largest ethnic groups are the Hausa Fulani, who are predominant in the north, the Igbos, who are predominant in the southeast, and the Yorubas, who are predominant in the southwest. The Edo people are predominant in the regions between the Yoruba land and the Igbo land. This group is followed by the Ibibios and an Efik people of the coastal southeastern Nigeria and the Ijaws of the Niger Delta. The rest of Nigeria's ethnic groups are found all over the country, especially in the Middle Belt and the north. The Hausa tends to be Muslims, and the Igbos are predominantly Christians. The Efik, Ibibios, and Anan people are mainly Christians. The Yorubas have a balance of members that are ardently of both Islam and Christianity. Indigenous religious practice remains important in all Nigeria's ethnic group. These beliefs are often blended with Christianity or even Islam. One cannot help but savor the rich delicacies from tuwo shinkafa with miyan kuka of the north to the akpu with ofe oweri of the east and inyo with egusi soup of the west. Who will resist the afang soup specially made in the beautiful city of Calabar? Call it a fishing frenzy festival. It is one of the most famous cultural festivals in Nigeria, and it is celebrated to mark the beginning of the fishing season in Arugungu, a riverside town in Kebbi State between February and March every year. It is called the Arugungu Fishing Festival. Eyo is not just unique, but central to the city of Lagos, Africa's biggest metropolis. It is widely believed that Eyo is a replica of a modern-day carnival in Brazil. You need to attend festivals such as the Benin Festival, the New Yam Festival, Osun Festival, and Shango Festival to understand the beauty embedded in Nigeria's culture. Nigeria is a blessed nation.
I hear some people complain and I just laugh. Here, I can't afford a car. I can't afford good clothes. I need new shoes. And they will complain and cry for this. You've heard the song. Some have food, but they cannot eat. Some can eat, but they have no food. I do not have any reason to complain because I just have my sight. Do you know what it means not to know how you look? Sometimes I pick the mirror and wish I could say abracadabra and see myself on it. Well, like it is said, in everything, give thanks to God. My name is Netia Akwan. I'm a dry cleaner. I will lift up my eyes to the God of Israel, who called me to sing. He is what I have hidden in the corner of my heart, for that I might not sin. So no matter what I see, me go turn my face away, turn away, cause I know. From Coretv State. From a local government. Well, my parents have 9 children. I'm the second. I came to Lagos when I was 17. That was 1992. Then I was living with my uncle. So from there I started studying. When I came, he took me to a place which I started selling for somebody in a supermarket. Then by that 93. That's when I learned this work, how to do this dry cleaning job. Then after that, 1993, from then, me and my senior started the vendor work, how to sell newspaper. 1995 and 96. That's when this is again occurred. Alright.
You're right. Keep going to your right.
Okay. No, I wasn't born blind. I wasn't. Yeah. It happened 1996. That was November 96. Okay, I went out to meet a friend. Then I have a bike also. Coming back with that bike, as I want to enter my street. So I entered the street. As I enter my compound, from then I started having some pains in my eyes. So from then they took me to the village. It wasn't instantly then I become blind. Then they took me to my village. That was my senior brother led me to the village. When we get there, then my granddad was there in the village. Then they said that this thing is not ordinary thing, that is a spiritual. Very well. I then stopped doing a vendor business because I could not walk on the street. So now I remember that I have something else that I can do, which was this dry cleaning work. So I'm doing for that allergic fluid, yeah? Okay, we still have some clothes. Though, we work with our eyes. Even though anything I'm going to do, if you are seeing what you are doing, though you'll be happy. But that's what I'm not seeing. The challenge is there because I'm not seeing what I'm doing. Maybe when customers come, it's difficult to know the customer, or sometimes people may owe me, that's it. If they owe, when they are passing by, I will not know them. I read somebody's mind, not because I didn't know how you look like, but I only read their mind and know whether you are truthful. So that's how I judge mine. Even my customer, when they come to me, I will be reading them. I will know the one that is good.
Oh, my fair, my dark.
How will I know whether you are fair? But should I touch?
Yes, please touch.
It's okay.
Am I fair?
No, you are fair.
I'm fair. Wow, how did he know that?
I have a son. The one that I was dating then that I was having in mind to marry. So the very first thing that this thing happened, she left. Even when I went to a place, they led me to a place there, she met me, she only greeted me, she didn't even do that like she knows me. I stay with my son. He helps me a lot. He never complains. So he never bothered about the condition I am. He still leads me along anywhere I want him to go. Leave home by 8 in the morning with my son. They want to lead me to the shop. From there, he leaves to his school. After school, he will then come back to the shop. We stay together and work together. Also, by 8, we come together. He will be the one to lead me home. Then we cook, we eat, play together and sleep. My name is Anietia Akpan. That's my Nigerian story. It's been long, I laugh. It's been long. No, I do used to smile, but I didn't laugh as then that I used to see before that. I laugh, I see something beautiful or something funny. But now, even so someone is acting funny, I will not know that someone is acting funny, so there's no point of laughing. One day we'll get married. Yes, that's what I'm thinking of. That we're going to get. I know before then, God will make the way out.
Nigerians are expected to seek out the best. 2 words to describe the activity.
The Yoruba Unity Forum is conducting.
Be the first to know.
Coretv News.
From the north, south, east, west, and around Africa.
Presidential
we break the news.
Women in Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live.
I wish you would.
As the news spreads. We are Coretv News.
Welcome to Coretv Primetime
Our 24-hour news station.
One continent, 54 countries, over 2,000 languages, but united with similar interests. As news breaks, we give you in-depth analysis around Africa every Monday on Coretv News.
The man on the streets have come to realize that the power to make decisions lies in the hands of the people.
The president is the most guided person in Nigeria. And men getting to him is like, we all know it's a political propaganda, so I don't believe what he said is true.
But they are not just ordinary people.
Up to that time, when you look at Nigeria has been a confluence of a theater of anarchy, confusion, dichotomy, marginalization, and a lot of lamentations have been existing.
They are people of influence.
I'm not happy. How can my brother plan against me to kill me when you know that I'm in power? To save you. I protected you to make things good for everybody in Nigeria. Not even I, everybody in Nigeria.
And they are very, very important.
What we want now is who will salvage Nigeria. We are not interested in tribe or ethnicity or whatever. Who will save Nigeria?
The people, only on Coretv News.
You know, Angela, that's a very difficult question.
It is difficult to respond to that question.
Angela, that's a great question.
Great question, Angela.
Angela, that is a very great question.
That's a great question, Angela.
Okay, that's a great question.
Yeah, very good question. That's a good question.
That's a good question.
That's an interesting question.
This is an interesting question you pose. 60 Minutes with Angela. Again, answers to every question you always wanted to ask.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
You know, Angela, that's a very difficult question.
It is difficult to respond to that question.
Angela, that's a great question. Great question, Angela. Angela, that is a very great question. That's a great question, Angela.
Okay, that's a great question.
Yeah, very good question.
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
That's an interesting question.
This is an interesting question you pose. 60 Minutes with Angela. Again, answers to every question you always wanted to ask.
You can now watch Coretv News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to Coretv Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click Coretv, leave a space, then news. Coretv News, a 24-hour news station.
Good evening. Welcome to Coretv News at 7. It's good to know you're with us. And this is the story we have for you. And of course, it's also kickstarting what you know as the reporter. First, the news. The federal government has approved 2 private universities exactly 1 month to the termination date of the Jonathan administration. This was one of the decisions made at the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by President Goodluck Jonathan. One of the new universities is Edwin Clark University, which belongs to Ijaw leader and elder statesman Edwin Clark. The second university is a Kaya University located
University is the establishment of Edwin Clark University, which will address the inadequate access to university education and enrollment of students in carrying out educational facilities in the country. It will enable other people to get access to education. In the council, the Minister for Education gave a reason for that and says, you know, in a country like Nigeria where we have well over 260 million people, our universities are not enough to go around. And therefore, there was the need to approve additional universities.
The federal government is said to have warned. The governor made frequent stops to greet residents itching to have close contact with him, as got a white cock from an elderly woman in appreciation of his efforts in the state. He further assured the residents of keeping the trust line between the APC government and the governed.
We are continuing to demonstrate to Edo people that for every reward that they extend to us, we will continue to reciprocate. That, you know, like I said in my thank you statement, that the APC government will never take the support of the people for granted.
This president appreciated the ongoing development in the state as he thanked the governor for his gesture.
Beautiful, beautiful. Look, you see Miss Sigi and Dasin. Many people along us here say, this road will not be done. It's playing us, But today, it's a reality.
Some of the project areas inspected are 2nd East Circular Road, Upper Mission and Upper Lawani. These projects, when concluded, will help ease the major part of the metropolis with erosion and flooding, which has become protracted during rainy seasons. Now let's go to outside Nigeria, where the U.S. has announced fresh aid of $9 million for quake-hit Nepal as it launched relief and rescue mission in the Himalayan nation, sending a disaster response team along with rescue dogs to search for survivors. This is in addition to the $1 million already provided to quake victims in Nepal on Saturday. The funding will be used to address immediate life-saving priorities, including search and rescue efforts, the provision of emergency shelter, clean water, sanitation, and additional needs that emerge in the coming days, U.S. aid says. The U.S. Defense Secretary Ashton Carter also says 2 C-17s of the U.S. Air Force were dispatched to Nepal with U.S. aid support, search and rescue personnel, and supplies on board. Some U.S. military personnel are already in Nepal for a previously scheduled training exercise, and these individuals are using their equipment and the tremendous expertise to assist in the recovery effort. The U.S. is sending a nearly 130 disaster assistance response team to conduct assessments, coordinate the humanitarian response, and provide search and rescue capabilities, along with 45 tons of cargo. Well, that's our last take here on the news at 7. Do not go away. In a couple of minutes, as in the next half hour, we're bringing you the reporter. Today's edition, we have a lot for you. I'm Emmanuel Ezekiel, and many thanks for watching.
Two words to describe the activity. The Yoruba Unity Forum is conducting.
Be the first to know.
Coretv News.
From the north, south, east, west, and around Africa.
Presidential
We break the news.
Women in Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live
I wish you
as the news breaks. We are Coretv News.
Welcome to Coretv Primetime
Our
News.
24-hour news station.
Muhammadu Buhari is a familiar name in Nigeria's politics, but became prominent more as a military leader. His life started years before, on December 17, 1942. Buhari is a native of Dora in Katsina State, raised by his mother after his father died when he was about 4 years old. In December 1989, Buhari married his second and current wife, Aisha. The marriage produced 5 children. Buhari joined the Nigerian Army in 1961 through the Nigerian Military Training College, now Nigerian Defense Academy, NDA, in Kaduna, and rose through the ranks, serving in various capacities and attending courses both in the United Kingdom and India. He was also made Military Secretary, Army Headquarters, and was a member of the Supreme Military Council between 1978 and 1979. At the rank of Colonel, Buhari was part of the class of 1980 that attended the U.S. Army War College in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, United States of America, and gained a master's degree in strategic studies. In 1983, Major General Buhari and Major General Tunde Idiagbon were selected to lead the country by middle and high-ranking military officers after a successful military coup d'etat that overthrew Second Republic civilian President Shehu Shagari in December of that year. In 1985, Buhari was himself overthrown in a coup led by General Ibrahim Babangida on August 27, and other members of the ruling Supreme Military Council SMC, ostensibly because he insisted on investigating allegations of fraudulent award of contracts in the Ministry of Defense. Buhari served as the chairman of the Petroleum Trust Fund, PTF, a body created by the government of General Sani Abacha and funded from the revenue generated by the increase in price of petroleum products to pursue developmental projects around the country. Now a converted Democrat, Buhari contested the presidential election as a candidate of the All Nigeria People's Party in 2003. On the 18th of December 2006, General Buhari was nominated as the consensus candidate of the All Nigeria People's Party. His main challenger in the 2007 April polls was the ruling People's Democratic Party PDP's Umaru Yar'Adua, who is also from the same state, Katsina, and he lost. In March 2010, Buhari left the ANPP for the Congress for Progressive Change, CPC, a party he had helped to found. Buhari was the presidential candidate of the Congress for Progressive Change, CPC, in the 16th of April 2011 general election, running against incumbent President Goodluck Jonathan of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Malam Nuhu Ribadu of the Action Congress of Nigeria, and Ibrahim Shekarau of the MPP. They were the major contenders among 20 contestants. Buhari won 12.
I'm going to hospital and they refuse to give me. What I will just say is that I will beg the federal government to please